This episode is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. Can you outlast the AFTV crew? Step up or step out.
AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date. Your players will be linked with a transfer move to Arsenal.
AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. First of all, I've got to say big congratulations going out to some of our players that got voted into the Team of the Year at the PFA Awards last night. It's very prestigious awards because it's the awards where the players vote, right? So the players vote. This is all based off of last season. Saliba, Gabriel and Declan Rice all getting in that team of the season, all well deserved. Marzu Skelly missing out on Young Player of the Year. It was Morgan Rogers who got that. You can't argue with that. He was brilliant. And Mo Salah, the Men's Player of the Year, absolutely brilliant. And well done to Cecil, who was on the red carpet doing interviews for TikTok, for doing interviews on TikTok for the PFA. He was brilliant, by the way. Big up to Cecil. And got a great interview with Mo Salah, Van Dijk. Bit disappointed that the Arsenal players didn't get brought over to him. They seem to just get rushed down the red carpet. But big up to those players anyway for getting those nominations and also succeeding. And I cannot forget Mariano Caldenti, who won the Women's Player of the Year. And again, well deserved. She had a fantastic season. What a player she is, by the way. So congratulations going out to all of them. And it was a great evening. As I said, Mo Salah winning the Player of the Year award and telling Cecil that he feels Arsenal are the favourites to win the Premier League because they've got such a stable team. So interesting that he said that. On Arsenal, don't forget Final One Standing this week. If you haven't already entered and you missed out on the first week, there are still private leagues that are going to be taking place, so click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to get involved. Prize money of up to 50 grand in those. The big one's the £500,000 one. I'm still in it. I went last week with Manchester City. Remember, because I've gone with Man City, I can't go with them again now. That's it. I can't use Man City again. You can only use a team once. If your team wins, you're through to the next round. If you draw or lose, you're out. So I went through to the next round, and I'm wondering who to choose this week now. The obvious one for me is Arsenal, because they're playing at home against Leeds. Leeds looked all right. To be honest, they looked all right the other night, but didn't look like they're going to score loads of goals. Could I go maybe a Burnley versus Sunderland, get Burnley out of the way? Will Burnley beat Sunderland? Sunderland had a great start to the season. The other one I'm looking at is maybe Bournemouth, Wolves. Do I risk a Bournemouth at home against Wolves? They looked pretty poor last week, Wolves. Or should I risk Fulham against Man United? Or is that a big risk? I don't know, right? I need help. I need help on these ones from you guys, right? I'm not going anywhere near that City Spurs one because Spurs always seem to have their number. But it's Final One Standing. If you want to get involved, as I said, click the link in the description. You've got to be over 18, based in the UK or Ireland. And please gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. Now, the big news yesterday was that Leandro Trossard has signed a brand new contract at Arsenal. Not even a contract extension, just a new contract that just goes on top of the old one, that keeps him at the club now till 2027. This news was broken yesterday by Gunnerblog, very respected journalist who works for The Athletic. And he said that what they've done basically with Leandro Trossard is they've given him an increase in wages that reflects his standing at the club. He says his contract runs till 2027, which was a bit of a surprise to me because I always thought that he only had 1 year left on his contract. If you look at all Transfer Market and those sort of websites, it shows that his contract runs out in 2026. Maybe it's one of those where there's an option to extend a year. But anyway, regardless, he's saying that he's going to be there till 2027 with an increased wages. And I've seen some rumours that could be £200,000 a week plus. I mean, that would be a huge increase. I mean, not sure about that. There's, nobody knows. But I wanted to get your views on it. Leandro Trossard, a very popular player at the club. I don't think anybody's looking on it and thinking, well, you know what, we should have just got rid of him. He's not a good player. He is a good player. But that's the thing. Good player. Not excellent. Not top tier. Good player. And listen, cannot fault him. Since he's come in at Arsenal, he's done brilliantly. Clutch in many situations, coming off the bench especially, has scored big goals for Arsenal. You could argue that over the last couple of seasons, he's been better than Martinelli. But he's 30 now. We all knew that this summer we needed to strengthen that left wing position. And that would probably mean that either he or Martinelli, in likelihood, would go and we'd do an upgrade. It's looking like Arsenal are not doing an upgrade and are sticking with what they've got on that side with Martinelli and Leandro Trossard. We know that they've not gone in for Eze, and Eze is going to be going, by it looks like, to Tottenham. Again, is that a mistake? All right, I know Eze is not, and we've known this for a long time, he's not an out-and-out left winger. Even watching him the other day for Palace, he is more of a attacking midfielder. Who sort of veers out onto the left-hand side, but he doesn't hug the touchline. He's not a left winger. But are we then just saying now that we're just going for, Trossard and we're not going to go with anybody else? Or Arsenal still going to make moves on that left-hand side? I mean, Trossard, by the way, had a chance to join Bayern Munich and that fell through. He turned that down. Interesting, this one. As I said, other clubs like Brentford were really, really interested in him. But now it looks like he's set to stay at Arsenal and has had his contract improved. Could Arsenal, though, still make a move for Rodrygo? Rodrygo of Real Madrid, yet again on the bench for them yesterday. They had their first game against Osasuna, which they won 1-0, killing Mbappe with a penalty in that game. And despite them not looking, not banging in goals left, right and centre in that game, no minutes for Rodrygo. Been on the bench all the time at the Club World Cup, on the bench in pre-season, now the first game of the season, on the bench, and not only just on the bench, no minutes at all for Rodrygo. The journalist Guillaume Balaguer reporting yesterday that, there is big interest from Arsenal, there's interest from Man City, but no bids have gone in for him yet. As I said on yesterday's show, Manchester City now have cooled their interest on him. Looks like they're sticking with Savinho. They're not going to be, be like what Arsenal have done. They're sticking with Savinho. They're not going to make a move for Rodrygo. Arsenal said to still be interested, possibly in a loan, but Guillaume Balaguer is saying that Real Madrid could lower their price for Rodrygo before the end of the transfer window. At the moment, they're looking for around about £86 million. That's about 100 million euros. But Guillaume Balaguer is saying that they could be asking for as little as 50 million by the end of the window. So are Arsenal biding their time until the end of the window to then try and make a move to try and get Rodrygo? We'll have to wait and see how that one develops up. I mean, we're running out of time in this window now. It's the 20th of August today. Time is running out, but whether he stays or goes, we are going to find out over the next 11 days or so. Jakub Kiwior looks like he's heading out of Arsenal. Porto are the team that are set to get him. There's been rumours that they've been looking to try and do a loan deal for him, which has been rejected by Arsenal. But now there's reports that they're ready to submit an offer. Bid could be in the region of around about 37 million euros plus add-ons. That works out to around about 31 million pounds. That sort of money may be acceptable to Arsenal. And Jakub Kiwior looks like he is going to be leaving Arsenal. I'll be very surprised if Arsenal keep Jakub Kiwior, although I did say that about Trossard, especially after he wasn't in the team at the weekend. They could easily change their mind on this one as well. But Jakub Kiwior at the moment does look like he's heading out. Wasn't even in the squad at the weekend. I need to revisit the Trossard thing, and I need to ask you guys, are Arsenal doing it again when it comes to the transfer window? Last season, we did it. We fell short in the transfer window and ended up falling short in the league, especially in January when we did nothing. Are we doing it again? We've made good signings this summer. Bought in the striker that we've all craved. You know, bought in defensive reinforcements, bought in Zubimendi and players in the midfield, reinforcements to the goalkeeper. But the left-hand side, the left wing has been a problem. We all look on it and say it needs an upgrade. I think that's universal amongst most Arsenal fans. But are Arsenal, by giving Trossard a new deal, signalling that they're going to stick with what they've got? And if they do that, is that a mistake? And if they do that, I want to ask you guys, what do you give? Say the window's shut tomorrow, and that was it. What would you give the transfer window out of 10? Me and Turkish were discussing this the other day on Gunners Unfiltered. What would you give it out of 10 if no left winger is signed? You also got to then start looking into it and say, if, I remember these are all ifs because the transfer window's not shut yet. If we don't sign a left winger, then why did we get Madueke? If it's a money thing, say, for instance, if they're going to say, well, you know, the amount of money Rodrygo wants in it, wouldn't they have been better to have maybe left Madueke and used that money more on getting someone in on the left-hand side? These are all questions that, you know, legitimate questions I feel that need to be asked. But at the moment, the left-hand side has not been firing. We've all seen it. We like the players there, Trossard and Martinelli, but it hasn't been firing. Should it be upgraded before the end of the transfer window? And if not, what are you going to give it out of 10? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments today, and I might go through some of those in the morning. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to check out all of our preview content leading up to the game at the weekend. Arsenal versus Leeds, first home game of the season. Looking forward to that one. But I will be back here in the morning, and hopefully we are getting news on our left winger. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow. You lot are always in the comments saying that we don't know ball. Well, now it's your chance to prove it. We've partnered with William Hill to bring you Final One Standing. The rules are simple. Pick a Premier League team every week. Win, you stay in. Lose or draw, you're out. But you can only pick each team once. It's free to play. You need to have a William Hill app to play, so scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link in the description below to get involved. 18 plus, UK only. Please gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions apply, and full terms are in the link below. Don't worry if you get knocked out. There's new games with new jackpots every Premier League week. Let's see who's the final one standing.